In color, the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neal as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord, Elizabeth Walker as Carolyn Russell, and also starring Barbara Rush as Marcia Russell.
Tonight, Lou Miles is fighting the clock. In a very short time, his father, Dr. Harry Miles, will fly to New York City, suspicious of Lou's activities there months ago, convinced that Lou is in serious trouble as a result. Now, Lou must make a decision, whether to rush to the airport and stop his father and tell him the whole story, regardless of the implications, or let him go, hoping, praying, that he uncovers nothing.
Good evening, Mr. Walker.
Hello, Lou.
Is Joanne in?
Yes?
May I see her?
Come in.
It's cold out there.
Does she know you're coming?
No. No, but it's very important that I speak to her.
Well, sit down then. I'll call her. Joanne?
Yes?
Joanne, honey, Lou's here. Lou Miles.
I'll be right down.
That's a new set, isn't it? Color. Color's good. Get a good picture, too.
We've had it for 4 months. Been a long time since you come along.
That's a good Western. Hi. Joanne, I've got to talk to you.
We can go out on the porch.
Put on your coat. Now, don't keep her out there too long.
I won't. And I'll be saying goodnight.
What's this all about?
I have to know what was said between your father and mine.
I wasn't in the room.
It's important. Now, your father knows something. I saw it on his face.
What happened in New York?
My father is leaving for there in just a little while. Now, think. What did they say?
I don't remember. I just heard talk. Just words. I wasn't trying to listen.
Try to remember.
There's nothing to remember. I didn't hear anything.
I have to know if he's just going on a hunch or if he really knows something.
A hunch? About what? Is it Vicky? Tell me straight, Lou. Did he say why he was going to New York?
No. But looking at your father tonight, I know he knows something. I have to be sure. Baby, please think.
I'm trying. I didn't hear anything clearly. Your name, and then something about your friends in New York. And when I walked through, your father was writing something down.
Thanks. Yes, I'd like to page a Dr. Miles. Dr. Harry Miles, flight 21.
Flight 21?
Right.
I just left.
Just left.
8 minutes ago.
Thanks.
me Eli.
You'll call me Maggie.
Maggie?
Ooh, it's cold. Ooh, sure was cold down at the pond. I don't think my circulation's as good as it used to be.
I used to tell myself that it was because the winters were getting colder. I'll stoke up a fire, yeah.
But I did have a good time.
Yeah, so did I. Let me help you with that.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Eli?
You're welcome. Maggie? Oh, I put some cider on to heat before we left. What do you say we have a mug, huh? It'll taste good and kind of warm the bones.
Sounds all right to me.
I'll get the mugs.
You know, it was funny.
What was that?
Down at the pond, all those young couples. You read so much about kids being different today. I felt as if it was all just the way it used to be when I was in my teens. In fact, it felt as if I was in my teens until I took that spill.
You could have hurt yourself.
Oh, posh. An old workhorse like me, I was never the delicate type.
All the same, you could have hurt yourself. And hereafter, I want you to be more careful.
As long as that's not an order.
Oh, that's just friendly advice.
In that case, I accept. Oh, that smells like home.
Would you care for a biscuit?
No, but I could use a foot warmer if you got one.
Your feet are cold?
Oh, frozen.
Well, why didn't you say so? Let me get you the chair here. You sit right down by the stove.
Oh, well, I didn't want you to go to all that trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Can't have anybody saying that they froze to death in Eli Carson's place. Get your shoes off here and you'll be snug as a bug in a rug in no time. We've been skating.
Oh.
Oh, and this is Mrs. Maggie Riggs, Tom Winter.
How'd you do?
Pleased to meet you.
Though if memory serves, we met before, haven't we?
Could be, could be.
What can I get for you, Tom?
Coffee.
I got it.
A couple of pounds of sugar.
Right over there.
And a few cans of pork and beans.
Now I remember.
Ma'am?
Where I've seen you? In church.
Two be enough?
You better make it 3.
Didn't recognize you without your collar. I guess I didn't go often enough to get a firm picture in my mind.
Maggie.
My late husband believed in solitary Bible reading.
Oh, did he?
He didn't like to mix with people, even in church. But I managed to bring myself to town 3 or 4 times a year and sit in a back pew.
Maggie, there's
something. That's okay. That's okay.
I remember the first time I heard you preach. I thought to myself, what a young man. And that sermon about being true to what you believe. I came 2 weeks in a row. Mr. Riggs, that was my late husband, said he'd heard that you were a free thinker. I tried to tell him what a fine young man you were. And then he got sick and I couldn't leave the farm. Well, I just wanted you to know what a big lift I got from listening to you talk.
Thank you.
Will that be all, Tom?
Yeah, that's fine.
That comes to $1.94.
Can you put that on my bill?
Sure thing.
Made me ride my bicycle.
I beg your pardon?
My bicycle. Wouldn't give me the keys to the car. But that's the kind of a man he was. Strong-headed. He said, if I wanted to go to a postcard church and listen to a lot of empty-headed hymn singers, I beg your pardon, that I could get there under my own steam. I don't suppose I ought to talk that way. The poor man's gone. Buried out in Hastings Valley, about a mile from where he was born. A whole life, and he only got a mile.
Maybe that's as far as he wanted to go.
You're probably right. They do say that people pick their own way in the long run.
Yes, that they do.
Well, I've talked an awful lot. You must be bored to tears.
No. As a matter of fact, it's been a long time since I met anyone as friendly as you are.
Why, thank you, Reverend Winter. And I'll be over to the church to hear you preach again soon.
I resigned from the ministry, Mrs. Rick.
Oh? I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
That's all right. That's okay.
Tom, we were just having a mug of cider here.
Oh,
yes, wouldn't you join us?
No, I better get back. But, may I take a rain check?
Anytime.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, Eli, why didn't you stop me? You know how I go on.
I tried.
And he has such a beautiful wife, too.
Had. They're divorced.
I don't approve of divorce. Still, to live your whole life with the wrong person.
Maggie, let me hotten up your cider.
Oh, thank you, Eli.
Oh, well, it's just to stare at him while he lectures to you and nod with a touch of awe every so often. Brilliant. I'll see you later at gym. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Hey, I want to talk to you.
I know I've been unreasonable.
Let's have lunch.
I can't.
Are you studying?
No.
Your committee meeting?
No.
Do you have another date?
I promised Dr. Rossi I'd have lunch with him.
On a multiple choice answer, that's a pretty dumb choice.
Well, it's the truth.
Are you capitulating?
What?
And don't you think you've got an awful lot of mileage agonizing over your mother's affair?
Well, I told you that they're getting married.
And you're going to be the flower girl. That's it. You're going to a rehearsal.
You're not very funny.
And neither are you. Expecting me to believe that you're going off campus against regulations to have lunch with Dr. Rossi.
Why would I bother lying to you?
I think you'd do anything to cut a guy down.
Don't be a fool.
It's a lot better than being
What?
a fake, a tease.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. I haven't changed.
Well, then stop being so possessive. I don't have to tell you where I'm going or who I'm going with. I thought we had an agreement.
We do have an agreement, a mutual agreement. That means it goes both ways. It doesn't give you license to go around turning me on and off whenever you feel like it.
Cut it out.
Try answering some questions for a change. Now, you've been playing this game for weeks, and I want to know why.
We'll talk about it later.
I don't think you have anything to say. Well, you better get going. I wouldn't want to keep your date waiting.
I'm having lunch with Dr. Rossi.
See ya.